Drops back here. Wentz just lost it. Wow. Tight end. Oh, little trickery here. Wilson gets it back. Looking. Airing it deep. Going for it all. And he's got it for the touchdown. Malik Turner hauls it in for Seattle. Pressure in his face. He's in trouble. Down he goes. The ball is loose. And Seattle's got the football. From the 38. And a fumble on the play. It's loose. Still loose. And it's picked up by Seattle. Penny gets through. Rashad Penny into open field. Is he going to get there? Still on his feet. Touchdown. Here's Wentz firing far side. It's intercepted.
But if I'm Doug Peterson, I'm spending a couple of days behind closed doors, and I'm in everybody's face. You get paid to play this game to the best of your ability. If we lose to the best of our ability, that's one thing. But when we get out there and show a performance like this, you know what? You should give the organization a rebate on what you've done in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Mo, that team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
You big dummy.
What's happening, everybody? This is the Philly Experience Podcast alongside Chris Hacker, Tana Martin, and Tyre Hood. I'm your host, Max James. It's great to be with you on this Tuesday, November 26th, following another disappointing Eagles loss to the Seattle Seahawks. Back-to-back weeks, Patriots, Seahawks. We've all sat here on the show and said we needed to split at least with these two teams, and we did not. We'll dive into the whole thing. Carson Wentz, another disappointing
Enough is
outing.
enough. Start playing with some jam in here. Let's go.
Coaching,
love the enthusiasm,
yeah,
my dude.
I like it too. But however, it was still a loss, Chris. Still a loss.
Well,
So we'll get into that in a minute. Hold on. We got some Sixers talk here. Joel Embiid scored 0 points last night in another disappointing loss. Like I keep saying, we keep losing to the good teams, beating the bad ones. But again, when your superstar player scores 0 points, you're not going to win too many games. And we'll also I'm going to touch on a little Phillies offseason talk. Some rumors going around on who we're going to sign possibly from the starting rotation standpoint.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
We're going to touch on some Flyers too at the end, all right? But let's get into this Eagles game first. The defense for the second week in a row kind of keeps us in the game better than we expected. And
That's not true.
At the same time, that is totally true, T. That is totally true. They only scored 17 points, that high-flying Seahawks offense. We stayed in the game. However, we just couldn't put any drives together. Carson Wentz probably, you could argue, his worst game since the Saints' regular season game last season.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, all
Get
right,
in your
let's-
ifs and buts.
All right, let's start this. Let's start this right now. Real quick. First off, for just to provide a visual concept of what's going on. All right, Max and Tanner came up in here with suits and whatnot, and they're putting in more effort to their dress code than the Philadelphia Eagles put into their offense. That's all I got to say. Like seriously, I mean, y'all look nice. Y'all actually put in some effort.
I appreciate that, T.
Thank you, T.
Unlike the Eagles and what they did on offense.
How do I
now,
look, T?
I don't know what the heck you look like right about now. I don't know what the heck you are. But I tell you what, though, this Philadelphia Eagles team is exactly what we thought they were.
And we let them off the hook.
Seriously.
No, they're not.
But they
They're
are
worse.
who we thought they were.
Seriously. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Carson Wentz had his worst game that I have ever seen. And seriously. So, I hear everybody in what they're saying. They're starting to question now whether or not Carson Wentz is a franchise quarterback or not. And rightfully so. I feel as though the way he's been playing, everybody has a right to question that. But here's where I have to come with a rebuttal. I went back and I looked at the tape. Chris, me and you, we had a real quick film session before the show started.
We sure did.
So what did you see?
Bad receivers.
Yes, you did.
Very bad receiving play.
Yes.
Almost like they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Now, I'm not excusing the fact that Carson Wentz was overthrowing Miles Sanders on a simple out route. I'm not excusing the fact that he was just throwing balls all over the place. I'm not excusing the fact that Carson Wentz was staring down receivers on that Jordan Matthews throw that ended up getting intercepted. I'm not excusing that. But I will say this. These receivers absolutely stink. All right? They are horrible. I have never seen a worse group of receivers a day in my life. Once again, I'd rather have Dorial Green Beckham out there catching passes than the current pile of crap that's out there now. It is absolutely ridiculous. Seriously. You know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
Real quick. Do y'all know, to this day, still, right now, Deshaun Jackson still has the third most receiving yards on this team?
What?
To this day. Deshaun Jackson's only played and caught a ball in one game and still has the third most receiving yards on this team,
That's pretty bad.
that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, T, I also want to bring up that last week Michael Thomas had more receptions and receiving yards than all of the Eagles wide receivers.
He pisses me off.
This is absolutely ridiculous. Do y'all have hands? Please, can y'all catch the ball?
Yeah,
Please.
T, I hear you 100%. Now, I want to ask you this question, though. Where do we go from here, right? We do have a weak schedule. Dallas continues to lose, so we can't quit on the season. But where do you see this team going into this Dolphins game next week? You know, how I know your confidence level has to be pretty low, but, you know, where's our mindset supposed to be at?
Our mindset is supposed to be, go ahead, Chris.
Okay, well, I said this to you, T, and I already know what your reaction's going to be. I hope
sick of this.
we lose, because losing to the worst team in the league is the only thing that's going to kick this team's ass.
It's
Now,
ridiculous.
here's the thing.
the only
Hold on. Here's the thing about that. If this was like week 3, I could agree with you. But if we lose this one, then the season is probably going to be over,
Yep.
especially because the
Yep.
Cowboys
Because things need to change.
are still. Yeah, the Cowboys still have a game on us. But again,
Bunch of
listen,
lowlifes.
we just have to beat up on these you know, below average teams and get a little luck involved with a couple of Dallas losses.
Right.
Yeah,
That
but-
gives us right there in the playoff picture.
But what good team has to rely on another team losing? That's the problem.
I don't know,
This
let's
is
ask the
not a
Ravens.
good team. And as a matter of fact, I understand everybody saying that the Eagles still have a chance to go to the playoffs. At this point, I don't think I want them going to the playoffs. I don't think it even matters, all right? They stink, all right? And then on top of that, let me go back to this coaching. This horrible, sorry excuse for coaching. How in the hell do you ask your quarterback to throw 44, 45 times in a game to these sorry-ass receivers? Seriously. How do you ask your quarterback to do that? Listen, everybody keeps saying that this Eagles offense doesn't have an identity. They have an identity. Run the damn ball. But Doug Peterson refuses to ride Miles Sanders. Heck, Jay Ajayi got a couple of runs on Sunday and looked awesome. Was picking up short yards.
I wouldn't say he looked awesome, but he did
6
convert
rushes
a couple.
for 16 yards.
He did convert a couple first downs.
He converted a shoot. Look, either way, our run game is dominant. And then especially considering the fact that you went into the game and you didn't have Lane Johnson, who was out with a concussion. And you had Dillard at right tackle, which by the way, is one of the most asinine decisions I have ever seen. Why the hell
Yeah, that was not.
are
a
you
good choice.
breeding? Why the hell are you training your future left tackle and putting him at right tackle? That's stupid. And then I hear people ripping him because he got interviewed saying that, because basically what Andre Dillard said was, playing right tackle is like taking an exam and you're right-handed, but the instructor asks you to take it.
Writing an essay, which is absolutely ridiculous. I think he's a little dramatic with that.
No, he's not.
A whole essay, left-handed. That's the same amount of.
He's not being dramatic when he says that. Muscle memory when you're playing sports is very important, especially considering the fact that if you've always played on the left side, that's how your muscles are trained to go on the left. Now you're training your muscles only for 1 week to go to the right side. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different foot placement. It's a whole different movement stepping back into those pass blocking positions. He is absolutely correct in that statement. Why the hell would this coaching staff do that to that young player? And then you bench him because he was playing so bad. And then to make matters worse. So Matt Pryor actually did pretty decent coming in at right guard. But oh my gosh, I have never seen a worse tackle than Big V. I have never seen a tackle. Listen, I'm going to put this out there right now. Shaquem Griffin, drafted by the Seahawks.
Oh, boy.
If y'all don't know who that man is, listening to me, look up his story. It's an awesome story. The man is playing football with one hand, and I think that is awesome. Making plays with one hand. But seriously, how in the hell are you giving up pressures from a man who has one damn hand? How the hell does that happen? Are you serious right now? Shaquem Griffin is 6'2", 227. Big V is 6'6", 330 pounds. That's 4 inches and 100+ pound difference. How the hell are you not putting your hands on him?
Because he's just playing faster.
He's just not fast enough to get there.
Don't forget about Brooks too. Went MIA.
Oh, yeah.
With his anxiety.
He had panic attack.
Which I hope. Seriously, that's a serious condition, and I'm not making any jokes about that. And I hope, he does get well, seriously, because, man, he's playing his ass off. We definitely, as a Eagles organization and as a Eagles fans, we definitely do support him, and we back him up on that.
Yeah, definitely.
But Big V, you suck, all right? Straight up, you suck.
You know who sucks?
You straight up ain't.
I'll tell you who sucks. Jason Peters.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Jason Peters ain't looking too hot either.
He volunteered to play right tackle.
Yeah, after the game. Thanks for bringing that up after the game. I'm sorry. Y'all know how I feel about Jason Peters. Y'all know I love Jason Peters. Favorite current Eagles player. But why would you bring that up after the game when the game is over?
He said next week.
Wow.
We'll give it a try next week.
Wow. Next week.
Give it a try next week against the Dolphins.
After we already got our asses kicked from the Seahawks.
Yeah, well.
Seriously? Come on, man.
I'm going to tell you, during this game, I was there at the link, and
You sure were.
going into it, I said that we were probably going to get murdered by the Seahawks. But while I'm sitting there in this seat, the score is not that different. There's not a big difference between our score and their score. And going into halftime, I'm like, okay, what was it? 3? Was it 3-10?
Yeah, it was 3-10.
3-10
we were still in the game.
But then I think it was towards the end of the third quarter, everything just fell apart because the defense started to realize, well, this offense isn't going to help us out. Why are we trying so hard? It felt like they're like, oh, we just can't hold it together anymore. They were just
because
stopping
that guy doesn't
the
know
ball.
what the hell he's doing. A couple of big plays by Russell Wilson really kind of hurt us.
It did.
Yeah, but yeah.
And also DK Metcalf did drop a couple of big passes. He dropped one touchdown pass.
And that's why,
could have been worse.
As we transition to talk about this defense, y'all say the defense held up there under the bargain. I'm not saying that they didn't. They gave this offense plenty of opportunities, plenty of chances to stay in the game and to make the game competitive. I'm not arguing that. But what I will argue is that score should have been 31-9.
I agree.
Because DK Metcalf dropped a deep pass. He beat, once again, that was
Darby.
a play. That was a play me and you, Chris, looked at before the show started. He beat
Darby.
He beat Darby bad and had the touchdown right there and dropped the ball.
Do you know we could have had DK instead of Arcega-Whiteside?
I brought that up a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's just sad.
He was the very last pick of the second round.
Yep.
DK Metcalf.
We could have had him twice.
Arcega-Whiteside. Well, that's one name we haven't talked a lot about on this show. But, man, what a disappointing pick he's been so far.
You know why he's been disappointing? Coaching. Why are you cross-training a receiver for 3 positions? Why are you doing that to a rookie receiver? And then I don't know what the strategy. I don't know what in the world are their training ways. I don't know how in the world they're training these guys. I don't know what in the world they went through during training camp and how they taught them how to run routes. But it's horrible. Feet placement on these routes are horrible. They're moving before the ball gets there. That one pass that Arcega-Whiteside dropped that everybody said that Carson Wentz kind of threw backwards, Arcega-Whiteside took another step forward as the ball was moving.
Yes.
That's a problem. This is why I say, yes, Carson Wentz did not have his best game. But I'm not going to completely crucify Carson Wentz because at the end of the day, these receivers still stink.
Granted, this might just be me speculating. I feel like you saw in week 2 against Atlanta where Carson was saying to Arcega-Whiteside, "Hey, you got to pay attention to me."
Right. Look at me.
And there were 2 incidents in this game this past week where the one you just mentioned, and then inside the 10-yard line.
Yes. So what had happened was
he was expected to run a slant.
Yes.
And he beat the defender. I don't even remember who it was.
He beat him cleanly.
But he then turns upfield, which then allows the defender to undercut him. He can't get his hands on the damn ball.
Yep.
And I feel this is 3 times now where he has screwed up, and I feel like he might not be in Carson Wentz's good graces. He might feel like this is not someone I can rely on.
And people wonder why Carson Wentz is staring down receivers and regressing back to his rookie ways. People wonder why Carson Wentz is holding on to the football. You would hold on to the football too if you had these crop of receivers because you don't trust them. And frankly, I don't trust them either. Nor do I trust this coaching staff. You ask your quarterback to drop back 44, 45 times. Are you kidding me? With these receivers.
You know what's going to be interesting?
What's gonna
when
be
this team gets better receivers and Carson still plays like this, and then people have no excuse.
I
for Carson
agree.
Wentz.
Oh, I completely agree. Then you can rip Carson Wentz. But we all see how bad these receivers are. All of us. I think all of us can go out there and put up 200, 300 yards in a season with Carson Wentz.
Maybe you guys could, but
No, Chris, you'd be able to too.
Well, listen. I think we're giving Wentz here a little too much praise. I mean,
Yeah.
he
No,
played.
I'm not giving him praise. I'm ripping him.
we're ripping the.
You're being
receivers.
too light on him. That's what
Okay.
Max is saying.
Okay, you want me to be hard on Carson Wentz? Okay. That overthrow pass to Miles Sanders was inexcusable. That throw to Jordan Matthews, where he should not have stared down Jordan Matthews, that was absolutely horrible. Carson Wentz looked like crap. There, I said it.
His fumbles too. Ridiculous.
His fumbles
That
were
was
absolutely
bad.
inexcusable.
Oh my God, that was bad.
Yes, they were. Why is he all of a sudden regressing back to his rookie ways? Why? Coaching. He's not getting his ass kicked in practice. They're allowing him to do these things that got him in trouble in the first place. That's a problem. Go ahead, Max.
One thing I will say is that I would like to see him run a little bit more. I know he did a couple times this past week, but then the last night, you see a team like the Baltimore Ravens, who they don't really have too many receiving options, but then you have the run game with Mark Ingram, kind of like our Jordan Howard. Now, I'm not saying Carson Wentz is the type of talent that Lamar Jackson is, but if we run that kind of offense, have Wentz run a little more, maybe not as much as Lamar Jackson or with as big of a playmaking ability, but if we can kind of have that sort of offense because of the fact that the Ravens are putting up 40 points a game with those kind of receivers, guys like Willie Snead, Seth Roberts, people you never really heard of before, and they're still putting up that great amount of points. I'm not saying we can replicate it exactly, but maybe we try a different strategy because putting up 3, 6, 9 points per game right now like we're doing is not going to win too many games.
Another thing.
We know it's hard.
That's another thing Arcega-Whiteside did. That play where Wentz had the really bad fumble where he dropped the ball down.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that happened, you probably already saw it. When Arcega-Whiteside was running his route, he tripped Andre Dillard, which then the defender tripped over Andre Dillard.
Yep.
And he's just right there on the ground, right behind Wentz, and he just.
But once again, I'm going to go back.
Smacks the ball.
Now, Carson Wentz got credit for that turnover, but here's the thing. That's coaching too. Why the hell would you come out? No. Tanner, I understand you getting frustrated.
We got the wide receivers' fault. It's the coach's fault.
Tanner,
it's
hear
Carson
me out.
Wentz. He's the one out there
But
playing
Tanner,
on the field.
hear
He's
me-
changing the plays
But-
at the line.
but hear
He's
me
in
out.
charge, T.
Okay.
He gets the ball. He has the ball in his hands.
But he didn't change that play. And listen, here's the thing.
That play.
Here's the thing. 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Now, any rookie or dumb wannabe coach who has a 6'5", 240-pound quarterback who's probably undefeated when it comes to quarterback sneaks will call a quarterback sneak in that position, correct?
Yeah, I don't want to hand the ball to Miles Sanders in that spot because Miles Sanders isn't going to be able to truck anybody. He got tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
So why the hell would you, first off, line up in a shotgun set, which is dumb from the beginning because now the ball's being placed
I
4
agree.
to 5 yards.
Yeah, you're right. No. I hear you. The play calling was horrible.
Yes.
It's been absolutely
That's all
horrible.
I'm saying, Tanner. That's all I'm saying.
And I saw Miles Sanders. I've never been the biggest Miles Sanders guy. Said it on this show a couple times. I don't think he can be the workhorse running back. And what I saw from Jay Ajayi was a guy who shot. I mean, he didn't look like he could move at all. Really, from his lateral quickness is gone, and he looked like he was like stepping on eggshells out there. Couldn't really move, make any big time cuts. We really put him in short yardage situations in order to kind of bump forward, get those 2-3 yards.
His best run of the game was called back on a penalty.
Yep.
Nice.
So.
What's he here for?
Miles Sanders, he must have gotten like 20, 25 touches yesterday coming out of the backfield and all those carries he got. But, again, Wentz he didn't play well.
12 carries, 63 yards.
12 carries for 63
That's a pretty good game.
12, 20,
That is not horrible, but the fact that he only ran 12 times, I thought he may have, maybe if you add on his receiving stats, it may add up closer to 20, obviously. But
Seriously.
I do wish we had Jordan Howard healthy because I think it would make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
He had 3 catches for 23 yards.
Okay, 15 touches.
Oh, yeah. I definitely would have thought, Jordan Matthews definitely would have made a difference. But here's the thing. If you have Jay Ajayi, who is a pretty good capable runner, you still have Miles Sanders. What's the difference in Jordan Howard being out there if you're still going to ask your quarterback to drop back 40-plus times?
Yeah, you're right. Now, listen, I have a question. Jordan Matthews, we saw him 2, 3, 4 years ago be effective with Wentz and had that chemistry. And not that Matthews is a great receiver, obviously, that he got cut after the game. But the fact that they didn't even really throw the ball his way or kind of have any kind of chemistry like they used to have was kind of, head scratching to me because, we saw, all their touchdown celebrations together a few years back. And, it felt like they had a great connection. And, the past couple weeks or especially the last week that they signed him, I didn't see any kind of looks his way, any kind of connection. It was all to Greg Ward, who we just got off the practice squad. All of a sudden, he turns into our number one receiver, and I just don't understand how that would be possible.
You can't just pick up a receiver a couple of weeks ago and just think that it's going to work and plug him into an offense. This isn't Madden.
Well, Greg Ward was just picked up off the practice squad.
But Greg Ward's been with the team the entire offseason. In the entire season. Jordan Matthews just got picked up.
Yeah, but there was all this talk about he already knows the playbook and he can just slot him right in and
Same thing with Ajayi.
Just two games.
That's not how it works.
I mean, I feel like they might have bit the bullet on that one a little too quick.
They did. No, well,
I don't know.
Well, okay. You guys group chat text. I said that somebody was going to be scapegoated for this loss. I literally said that. I said somebody is going to get an axe. I don't know who. I don't know if it's going to be a player. I don't know if it's going to be a coaching staff. I don't know, but somebody's getting an axe after this loss. And Jordan Matthews just happened to be the scapegoat.
Yeah, but guess what? That to me, that doesn't make a statement to the team.
Oh, it doesn't.
The guy who's been here for 14 days is gone. Oh no.
It doesn't make a statement.
Yeah, it's not going to. Yeah, Chris, I agree. It's not like Jordan Matthews was the problem, the reason we're losing games. But no one on this show can sit here and tell me that Nelson Aguilar is hands down better than Jordan Matthews, in my opinion. One's getting paid peanuts, and the other one's getting paid $9 million. That's the reason why.
When does Alshon Jeffrey return?
Do we even care that he returns at this point?
When's Nelson come back?
I don't know either.
Who knows?
And now you got Greg Ward, so maybe they're expecting these two guys to come back.
Yeah.
They're keeping Greg Ward on the starting roster. And
they cut Jordan Matthews,
no room for Jordan Matthews.
Yeah,
I guess
him.
no room, which is weird to say with this wide receiver depth that we don't have.
What do you guys make of that story of an unsourced source says Alshon Jeffrey and Carson Wentz have?
Yeah, because Alshon didn't accept his tickets to go down, or he was busy or something. I think people are just looking for something.
Yeah.
I look at that situation like this. You don't know what Alshon Jeffrey had going on. You don't know what in the world he might have had planned, and it might just have been a coincidence thing. I'm not going to look too deeply into that story.
No,
but it is a situation that kind of makes me raise my eyebrow a little bit.
Because something I do know is he said the reason he came to Philadelphia in the first place was to play with Carson Wentz.
Correct. So
that's why he came here and rejected the Vikings.
He rejected a lot of teams. A lot of teams that were willing to pay him more.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The more and more I sit here and think about things and how things are going right now, really sit here and wonder what the team would be like if we had Nick Foles.
Are you serious right now?
Do I, Maxwell.
Are you serious right now? Are you serious right now?
You know what? You're making a lot of sense to me.
You can't help but wonder, T.
Are you serious?
You can't help but wonder.
They played better with when Foles was out there.
Y'all do realize the Foles just got his ass kicked on Sunday, and they're already asking for Gardner Minshew again.
Whoa.
Well, he didn't play great, but listen,
yeah.
Everybody raises their level of play when Foles is behind.
Yeah, okay.
And
T, how did he do on the T? Before the Eagles, how did he do on the Chiefs and the Rams?
He did horrible.
Okay, and then he came to the Eagles and won a Super Bowl, T.
This is true.
We're talking about him on the Eagles, not him on the Jaguars.
Fan base, we wouldn't be bashing as much because, Foles, bringing that Super Bowl trophy here. I mean, you love the man for life. But listen, I got a question about Doug Peterson. How long is his leash? How long is this Super Bowl glory going to last before people realize maybe Doug Peterson isn't as great of a coach as maybe we thought he was?
Chris, me and you were talking about that before the show, and I said that I think what's going to happen in the offseason is going to be some changes in that coaching room.
They're going to take down all those Super Bowl posters, too.
They should have been took down the damn Super Bowl posters, in my opinion. Okay, you won the Super Bowl. It's over. Let's get back to work and let's get another one. You don't see the Patriots keep harping on the last one that they won.
They kind of do.
It's every year. So.
Yeah.
So, no, I definitely want Doug Peterson to have a chance to clean out house, try to start some, just make a new foundation.
I agree.
All right?
We need Frank Reich back. That's what we need.
Yeah, pay him.
Or another Frank Reich. Or Frank Mike a Frank Reich-minded coach, offensive coordinator.
Frank Mike.
Shut up. All right? Shut up. I'm pissed today. All right? Shut up.
I struck a chord.
Yes, you did. All right? Shut up.
To me, his leash is another season. If I definitely want to give him another year. He's a coach I do believe in.
Mm-hmm.
But
the coaching leashes in Philadelphia are just shorter than other cities.
Yeah,
flat out.
They are.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, it's the nature of the city. You're in a larger market, and then you're 2 years removed from a Super Bowl victory. So, yeah, the expectations are now going to be higher. So, yes, the cord is going to be short. I hate this new norm, by the way. It's stupid.
Let's talk about this Seahawks team that we saw on Sunday. You know, Russell Wilson doesn't have his best game, but again, hurts us with a couple big
13 for
plays.
25, 200 yards.
Oh, yeah. I know. I had him fantasy.
Not a great showing, you know, stat-wise from Russ, but he did make a couple plays when he needed to. Chris Carson comes out the backfield, and he gets a lot of carries every week. He usually gets around 20 to 25 carries per week there. You know, they run the ball a lot.
He got
8 carries and 26 yards.
Yeah, and that's surprising. If you go back and look at his stat lines from like weeks 1 through maybe 9, maybe 8. I mean, he's getting 20, 23, 20, and 22.
Hey, Tanner, what was Rashard Penny's stats?
He had 14 carries for 129 yards.
Yeah, Penny played a great game. And that's because of the fumble from Carson, probably why he only had around 8 carries.
And he should not have had a touchdown. Let me tell you this. Was that Ronald Darby diving? How sick was that? That was disgusting.
What did he get to him about?
It's
like
an outrage.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for joining the show, Darby. Then dives. Terrible. What was he stiff armed? I couldn't tell. I was all the way up in the nosebleeds.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. All right, 58 yards, runs right through the hole. Nathan Gary just gets enveloped by a block. All right, Nathan Gary at times will flash, but then there's times where he just looks like pile of crap in the run game. So Nathan Gary gets eaten up. Rashard Penny has a wide open lane, goes right down the middle. All of a sudden, you see Ronald Darby coming from the left. Yeah. I have never seen a human toss themselves into another human and bounce off of them. What the hell kind of a tackle was that? Where is the fundamentals of wrapping up? Darby ain't worth 2 cents. All right? Listen, the only way you can have that kind of horrible tackling skills is if your name and your skill set is Deion Sanders. All right? Boy. Ronald Darby, you are not Deion Sanders. You suck at tackling. That was the worst tackling effort I have ever seen. Instead of him even...
You just mentioned Deion Sanders and Ronald Darby in the same sentence.
Yeah. I'm saying that's the only reason why. My point is...
I see your point. Just don't do it again.
Once again, that was absolutely ridiculous. And that's embarrassing. I can tell you that right now. I hope he gets clowned in film sessions this week.
Man, that's so
I hope he gets cut. I mean, he shouldn't be on this team.
He gets cut and we send him a video of that. Go ahead and make me sick.
Look, I know we kind of praised the defense a little bit for giving the offense a chance, but I hope they also get grilled for celebrating in the end zone when we're down 17-3.
Yeah, that's another thing.
That was... I was
25 seconds
all
left.
of you that may be listening to this, you sorry excuse for an 11 personnel that you call yourselves a defense. Seriously?
You dumbass.
Who celebrates when you're down 17-3? First off, I can count on one hand probably how many interceptions this defense has. Then on top of that, you celebrate like a bunch of jackasses in the end zone. Like you've actually accomplished something. Bro, you're still down. What are you doing? Get your asses to the sidelines.
Now for defense, Malcolm Jenkins had a great game, I feel like. From watching from above, he had 2 sacks.
He had a couple sacks.
That sack, both of them, but one of the sacks where I didn't even see where he was coming from, and I was all the way up above in the nosebleeds, and he just ruined Russell Wilson on that play.
So the strategy was the strategy was to have Malcolm Jenkins as a spy, and to keep Russell Wilson in check in that pocket.
Yeah, he didn't really run for any big chunk yards.
Not really. So on that play, he came in on a delayed blitz. And I believe they were already sending like a 5-man pressure. And Malcolm Jenkins had a shot, and he took it. And yes, he did. Malcolm Jenkins had an excellent game.
Russell Wilson.
D-line played well yesterday.
This is the first game all year where I noticed him.
Wow.
But yeah, that's an issue for me, though.
Yeah.
It should not have taken this long for me to notice him. And he's been begging for a new contract. You might want to start looking at another safety.
You know what I don't like?
What do you know?
For cornerbacks, when they're getting beat and the wide receiver, it's the wide receiver's fault when the ball goes through their hands, and then we have guys like Jalen Mills like moving around, celebrating like he actually did something when he tripped 5 yards ago and the wide receiver dropped the ball.
Yep.
That's what I don't like to see, T.
Man, I can't with these corners. I tried my hardest to give Jalen Mills credit when he first came back from that injury. And
don't get me wrong, he's playing well.
He's playing okay. And I think he would be a whole lot better of a corner if he had the foot speed to keep up with some of these guys.
Yeah.
But dude, the celebrations are over the top. If it wasn't for the fact that some of these guys had hands for feet, you wouldn't be
But
celebrating.
you know, T, the Bengals still celebrate when they get a touchdown. They know they're not winning.
Well,
so.
that's different. It's the Bengals.
Yeah,
they barely
everyone
see it.
celebrates, but
They get a
I see your
touchdown.
point.
They get a touchdown once every blue moon. So that's a little different
rare
situation.
occasion.
Yes. So that is a moment to celebrate.
Yeah.
Now-
They're terrible. The Bengals are terrible. But again, let's look at this upcoming matchup against the Dolphins.
Oh, jeez.
The Dolphins are horrible. They're tanking. We all know that. But again, we're kind of horrible ourselves. So listen, Dallas, Thanksgiving Day at home. They got Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo can sneak one out on the road.
I hope
And then
so.
we just
That'd be
got to
great.
beat Miami.
I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
Going in to Miami, do you sit Carson Wentz?
No. You're paying him
At
too
all?
much to sit him.
I
And
would
you're-
Do you
sit
sit
him.
Carson
I
Wentz
would
and play
sit him.
Josh McCown?
And
Why does
play
he-
Josh McCown.
Why does Carson deserve to play?
Why is Josh McCown a journeyman?
You know what? No,
Josh
I don't
McCown
mind this mindset.
is a veteran presence,
That's a-
right? He
that's
knows
a-
how to groom and make the horrible receivers better. Maybe they just have a better connection. Maybe no one likes Carson Wentz. Maybe he sucks in the locker room.
Then clean the damn locker room out. Because apparently, no.
Maybe Wentz is the problem. Maybe all he does is talk about God, and everybody's like, "Shut up."
Okay, everybody has their but everybody has
Nick
their thing.
Foles is also a big church guy, too.
Okay.
I just want to put that out on the
Right, exactly. So what does that mean?
I don't know. I just know that every time I watch the Eagles and Nick Foles, they play a lot better than they do with
It
Wentz.
seems as though, and this is no shade at Josh or Nick, that the team likes more of a bland quarterback.
They're both bland.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
like a
That's
guy with a rocket for an
Did you
arm.
not just listen? Josh and Nick Foles are bland. Carson Wentz can do a lot of things, but they play better
Josh
with a bland
McCown,
quarterback.
Josh McCown, and Nick Foles both have cannons.
You can't deny that this team does play.
Did
better
you
with
just
Nick
say
Foles.
Josh McCown has a cannon?
He does.
Drop your mic right now.
Yo,
Drop your mic
watch
right
the
now.
film.
I'm sick of you.
I get it. He's old.
Watch the film. Do you know how much film I watch? There's a reason why I come in here with red eyes
Josh
and bags
McCown's
under my
got a
eyes.
decent arm. I'm telling you right now.
Are you kidding me right now?
Look at the preseason, the highlights. I'm telling you.
Look at
Are
the
you
one-
kidding me?
Look at the one time he came in.
The only thing is, it gets a little dangerous
big dummy.
if Josh comes in
And plays well.
and plays very well.
Yeah.
It is the Miami Dolphins, but then you're like, whoa. Then more people start to question who Carson Wentz is.
I'm sorry.
They said we can do a trade with the Jaguars. We pick up Nick Foles and maybe a receiver like DJ Chark.
Oh.
And we send
That
out
is
like maybe
blasphemous.
like Fletcher Cox and a first round pick.
Whoa. All right, never mind. You lost me, but
Stop
there's
pulling
got to
the
be
dog
another
on
player that we can get rid of.
Well, how about we throw out Malcolm Jenkins and a first round pick?
They're not going to take an old Malcolm Jenkins, an old aging Malcolm
Someone
Jenkins
might.
who can't hardly play.
All right. So here's a new proposal. We flip quarterbacks.
You ask Carson, hey, man, how do you like Jacksonville? Well, you're going there. See you later.
And then we
I'm
also
sick of
send
this.
them, I don't know, maybe send them a couple picks and Howard, and we snag Leonard Fournette.
Oh.
Man, that's ludicrous.
Whoa. Oh, no.
What is the matter with y'all?
No.
Dude, we got to make some
we
decisions
don't
here.
need, we don't need
Look,
Fournette.
T, we did
Lenny
say
is a
changes
top-
need
Are
to
we-
be made.
will-
Changes needed
Wait.
at the coaching and the right receiver position.
Since
Not the
me and Max
not
are
necessarily the
playing
quarterback.
Madden football right now.
see
So
that?
Yeah, you are.
You want to get Leonard Fournette
Look,
for no, and you want to get you want to give Carson Wentz
look
to Jacksonville.
Dude,
and
Jordan
then who do we
Howard
have?
is at the bottom of the problem list.
Yes.
He's been the best.
your
Yeah, no, but we got to
player.
give something to get something.
A running back
mean,
that we
you're
don't need.
ridiculous.
Well, Leonard Fournette would be an upgrade over anybody we have. All right. Actually, we don't need a running back. Why don't we just go out and maybe try to sign a speedster like D.D. Westbrook or trade for him?
What the hell is going on in this damn state?
Off-season moves coming up.
he's-
We we trade for D.D. Westbrook and Foles, and we send out Wentz and maybe like a third rounder.
Hey T, we've been playing Madden football.
I agree. What the hell is going on in this doggone studio?
I agree. All this is ridiculous.
He's just trying to solve the problem.
I'm trying to solve
he's
the problem.
playing GM, T.
You understand what do you want to do? We can't
No,
go
I
out
don't
there and
understand.
draft
Coordinator
two
and defensive
superstar. What kind of receivers are out there that we're going to be able to get? First of all, we're going to have like a middle of the pack pick, so Jerry Judy's probably be gone anyway.
Unless you trade up. That's the one thing Howie Roseman knows how to do.
Yeah,
He's horrible at
we
drafting.
managed to
Horrible at
screw
drafting.
up.
But when he trades up sometimes,
Then he
his
loses.
trades.
Then he loses value.
Now,
Who
if he
needs draft picks if you can't draft?
yeah, I've been beating that drum too. Honestly.
You're making sense, Max.
What's going on with AJ Green next
You
season,
piece of
Matt?
Swiss cheese.
He's going to be out of a job, and then maybe somebody will take a shot at him. Hey, listen, it can't get much worse than the Bengals, right? So he's probably going to go somewhere, and I would say he's probably the type of guy to go to like a New York or an LA. Maybe see him go to the Jets or something, join up with Le'Veon Bell. And then they got their wide receiver number 1. They got Darnold. They got Bell.
You know what? Philly's the new
What?
New York, so it would be interesting to see him here too.
It would be interesting. However, he's going to be an older receiver. Very old, actually, for his
What?
for his
That's what they
position,
say.
I should say. Very old for his position. And I don't know if AJ Green would be a great fit here.
AJ Green
because-
has magnets in his hands. He somehow just catches almost everything that comes his way.
Yeah, but I don't know if you do. We really going to go out and spend that kind of money for a 32-year-old?
No, you don't want to spend putting that kind of money. That's the right reason why we're in the situation we in now, because we're paying these old guys instead of moving
Good
on
point,
from
T.
them.
Good
That was
point.
the one thing that I look back and I respected about Joe Banner, former Eagles president. He did not like signing guys past 30 years old. That was his mantra. He did not have an emotional connection with players. And at the end of the day, this is a business. You got to make that business decision. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to just let go of players. But you got to make that business decision that, listen, past 30, you don't know what kind of player you're going to get. So at this point, why stop signing these 30-plus-year-old players? Stop it. Cut it out now. Draft well. Draft young guys. Develop them. Have an actual damn coaching staff that's going to develop them.
Sick of developing people. I just want to go out and get a superstar receiver like Jerry Jeudy.
It's not that easy. Jerry Judy's going to be drafted in the top 10, and I don't think we're going to be that bad in record-wise.
All right, so who's with me? We tank the rest of the season. And then we pick up some superstar talent like Jerry Jeudy, and then
the thing is, we are in no man's land right now. Even if we lose out,
Chris,
I'm
so mad. I'm so pissed with Max.
We have a top 10 pick. If we lose out, we'd be 5-11.
Chris, seriously,
what's he here for?
Seriously,
what?
He's providing solutions.
Listen, look at this team we have at the moment. You really want to go mediocre the rest of the way, finish like with the 14th, 15th overall pick, miss the playoffs?
Not at all.
Right now, we're in 20th place.
I'm sorry, but I'm a person with pride, and I ain't going out like that. I ain't going out without a fight.
See, this is why if you were the GM,
sometimes you have to take your medicine. Sometimes you have to take your medicine.
I took my medicine. I said this team sucks. They stink. The entire team stinks. From the coaching staff to the players.
You acknowledge that they're bad.
Yes.
But you want them to continue on and maybe luck their way into the playoffs.
I'm not saying luck their way into the playoffs. There's no way I see this team in the playoffs.
Exactly.
There's
so tank
no
the season and we get a higher draft pick.
I'm not just going to take the damn season.
And you know who would really respond to getting benched right now? Carson freaking Wentz.
Maybe he works out better in the offseason.
You're going to bench somebody who you're paying $130 million?
Okay, it happens sometimes.
Hey, yeah.
You save him up for the future. Don't get him hurt.
Show him.
Gotta teach him
you know
lesson.
what?
Show him he is not worth that money.
You know what? Fine. Fine. You know what? Go ahead. Bench Carson Wentz. See what happens. Go to your savior, Josh McCown. Go ahead.
Josh
Please.
McCown might save the season.
As a matter of
Josh
fact,
McCown might just
Doug Peterson.
Take us to 5-11. You never know.
Okay, you think you watch as much film as I do? Okay. Please, Doug Peterson, please bench Carson Wentz so we can put Josh
he
McCown
won't do
in.
that. We all
Please, for the love of
Doug.
God, do it. Please do it.
Listen,
Please.
T, we know this team isn't anything right now, and there was no really great ideas I'm hearing to solve the problem.
No.
So, why are you against my idea?
Well, okay, provide your solutions.
Provide my solution?
Do it.
T, I'm
This
on
team
your
are-
side.
This team already stinks. So ride out the rest of the year with these sorry-ass players that you got and make the fixes in the offseason.
14th, 15th
What kind of
overall
fixes
pick?
do you mean? You can't just say make the fixes. What do you mean? Just go out and sign like 12 different guys?
Listen, I don't see a whole lot of receivers that's going to coming out, so you might have to make some trades. So let's think about this for a minute. I know a receiver who plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who might want to trade out Mike Evans.
That's not a cheap guy.
It's not a cheap guy, but your success rate with draft picks ain't that high.
I know,
that's
that's
a
what
good
I'm
point.
saying. Trade
That's
a
a good
first and
point.
second rounder. Maybe
And Mike
move up.
Evans is a pretty... Whoa, what did you just say?
Maybe trade some picks and move up.
How many? What kind of picks did you just say?
Like a first, maybe throw in a second.
I'm gonna need you to shut up. All right. All right. I'm gonna need you to shut up for the rest of the show. Seriously. Yo, first and second. Hey, you lost your mind.
How about a first and a fourth? We move up to like pick 8 and snag a receiver.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. While I do agree with the draft strategy of drafting somebody and developing them, here's the problem. You don't have the current coaching staff to develop players. And right now,
True, I agree with that.
if we're going to make changes in the offseason in terms of coaching, how do we know that the coaching staff that's going to come in are capable of developing talent? That's the thing at this
It's a
point.
lot of question marks.
Right now they're not doing a good job at it.
They're horrible.
So
I can tell Carson Wentz to play better at the quarterback position. You can tell Carson Wentz to play
Yeah.
better at the quarterback position. Every single last one of us can be kicking Carson's ass right now. Hey, stupid. Stop looking at the left side of the field. Just scan the field.
just have some guy at the corner of the stadium just holding Carson's check over a shredder. Just maybe that.
No,
one
I
can play
think
better.
this team. I don't
there's
know.
an idea.
I'm not ready to give up on this team yet.
No, that's funny.
I'm not ready to give up on this team, and I don't think you are either. Tim.
What? Okay. What is this team going to do, Tanner?
I'm not giving up on this team. The Cowboys lose to the Pats. All right, the Giants suck. They lost to Mitch
Cowboys are
Trubisky
better than
and
we
the
are.
Oh
Bears.
my God.
Yeah, but everybody kept piping up the
The
Cowboys
Redskins
like they're
didn't
something
win.
special.
Daniel
Redskins
Jones
did
is
win.
going to
Hold on.
rip this defense
You want to
apart.
dive into the Cowboys talk now, too?
Yeah,
Is that
let's
what you
go
wanna
into this
do?
Cowboys talk.
All right.
I'm sick of you
Let's
at
talk
this
about the
point.
Cowboys.
Zeke is going to run over.
Listen, 13-9 in a swamp storm in New England on the road.
But everybody kept praising, no, Dak Prescott this, Dak Prescott that, this
at
team
his
is talented.
Do you
Yet
know,
and still,
Amari Cooper was never on the field. He scored
You
0
can't-
fantasy points.
you
Somebody
can't-
would know over here.
He was on the field. Well, I benched him.
Exactly.
I knew he wasn't going to play well. He
you
was on the
can't
field for a
beat
little
Father Time out there at quarterback, in which there are opportunities out there in the field that you missed as an offense.
Okay, listen. If the Eagles go on the road in that game, we'd probably lose by like 28.
Oh, by the way, let me bring up.
It's 13-9. They were so close. I'm just saying they're a better
By the
team
way,
than we are.
Let me bring up an interesting stat this year. Carson Wentz has beaten 2 teams this year with a winning record. Guess how many wins
God.
Dak Prescott has
Come
against
on, don't
winning
throw
teams?
that out there.
Oh, no,
Just
no,
how
no,
the
no.
schedule
You want to bring out
is.
stats? We're going to bring out
Just how the
stats,
schedule
doggone it.
works.
Yes.
That's how the schedule falls.
Okay. So what? Carson Wentz still beat 2 teams with a winning record.
Okay, and how's he doing right now? Oh, that's right. Horrible.
Oh, how Dak Prescott looked on Sunday?
One game. He's still probably a top 5 QB this year.
What?
Look at the stats. Pull them up, T. Pull up the stats. Dak Prescott, top 5 quarterback this season.
I think he is leading the league in
Thank you.
passing yards.
He's
Thank you.
up there.
He is-
sadly in the MVP talks.
I wouldn't,
Oh,
nah,
what
I
is
wouldn't
that,
put, I wouldn't
T?
put him in
Lamar's-
MVP.
Is that
talk.
the MVP I hear
He's
talks?
in the talks, T. It's not debatable.
Ah,
He's in
After
the
this
talks.
game, I wouldn't put him in the MVP talk.
He's not near Lamar.
No.
He's
not
near
Lamar.
He's in
Lamar.
the
He's
talks.
in the talks.
It's Lamar,
Guys, this is-
Russell Wilson, and Dak Prescott. Those are the 3 names. Patrick Mahomes, I get it. He's great, but he hasn't played a full season.
True. But I'm
Dak
not-
is leading, or not leading, but he's up there in every major category.
I would also put Michael Thomas in that MVP candidates as well.
Yeah, I can't
Hey,
argue that.
T, who were these 2 winning teams that Carson beat again?
I believe it was the Packers.
And you're still claiming the Bills, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
The Bills are 8-3.
The Bills are 8-3, but
They
Bills.
suck.
Dude,
I'm just bringing
mean,
up stats.
Did you think the Bills were going to be 8-3 though? I mean, no.
Yeah, let's be
but-
honest here.
Tell you what, shout out to my boy Josh Allen. I would trade Wentz.
yes, sir.
And
Here we go.
I wouldn't throw. I don't know if I go straight up.
Are we
for-
talking fantasy football?
No, we're talking real life. I don't know if I'd trade Wentz for Josh Allen straight up. But
Tanner?
listen,
Tanner.
that man can run.
What's he here for?
Josh Allen.
I have Josh Allen on my fantasy team.
That man can run.
He can.
He's doing great.
Good with his legs. Bunch of low lifes. Makes better decision than
Got a
Wentz.
strong back.
And no kids. I don't know if he knows how to wrap that thing.
I think we all should go back and watch 2017 Carson Wentz highlights, and then we all get in a better mood.
That.
Yeah,
I do that more than you think.
Realize we'll never see that again.
Oh God.
That's
Hey, remember what I said
Because that
about
guy doesn't know
Carson?
what the hell he's doing.
Remember what I said about Carson before the show? I can't say it on the show, but remember what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's falling down that mountain.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen,
guys.
and rightfully so. I'm not saying that people are wrong about him. People should be questioning at this point whether or not he's a franchise quarterback. Not questioning that.
All jokes aside, we've seen him be successful with a good receiver core. I still have faith in him, but it's declining.
It is. And it's right before our eyes. And we have to pay attention to some of the things that's going on. So, once again, I look at the tape. His foot placement is horrible on throws. All right, he's regressed back to just standing there in the pocket flat-footed. That's horrible. All right, he's going back to holding that football in the pocket with one hand. 2 hands. Horrible. He's going back to staring down receivers like he did in his rookie year. That's horrible. That's coaching. Because a good coach would see that on film and be like, hey, yo, Carson, I'm going to need you to kind of scan that field a little bit. You got time in the pocket.
Yeah.
Scan the damn field.
Let's talk about.
You know who Carson needs to sit down with? John Gruden again.
Let's talk
I
about.
thought you were going to say Tyre Hood.
No. He sits down with me. I'm going to give him woo.
No, John. Like, did you see the thing with John Gruden he did? Like when he was still in college?
No, what happened?
He went to Gruden's quarterback camp.
Yeah, that and
Gruden literally grilled him about that one-handed thing in the pocket.
For 20 minutes, that was almost what it was all about. Like, why do you have one hand on the ball in the pocket?
Yep.
And yeah, it was actually interesting.
It was.
Let's talk about Zach Ertz
Okay.
You mean
and Dallas Goedert.
This is the Eagles podcast today.
the two best, second and third best offensive players on this team.
Goddard was horrible lately, so
Whoa.
he has been.
Last show, you said I'm pretty sure you said he was really
Well,
good.
listen, I think he's a good player. I mean, he's just been horrible lately.
He's regressed too. He's
I mean,
going
how
back
about
from
that
his
horrible
rookie season.
fumble he had?
That was absolutely
awful.
How do you fumble that in that pile? How is that possible?
And Zach Ertz too. I mean, he just gets his workload is just ridiculous, man. And Wentz puts him in horrible situations, like on 3rd and 7, throws a negative 2-yard pass to Ertz behind the line of scrimmage and expects him to get to the first down marker.
But how much of that do you put on?
I'm just saying it's
the play
not
design.
I get it, but again, you're putting him in a bad spot.
I agree.
Yeah, because Zach is known for not getting yards after the catch.
Yeah,
I agree. I would not pass to him.
Automatically putting him in a spot of failure.
And I completely agree with that. I would not pass to Zach Ertz behind the sticks.
14
I would
targets.
never do that.
14 targets he's getting almost like every game.
But who else is catching the football reliably?
I agree, but it's just a little ridiculous as well.
You're absolutely correct, but there's a reason why Zach Ertz now holds the record for the most receptions in a season.
12 receptions with 91 yards and a touchdown last game.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Scratch that touchdown. All right, scratch the touchdown.
All right, Tanner, what do you got? What do you got? Sixers talk or what do you got?
Let's go into Sixers and how Joel Embiid was 0 for 11.
People what they want to see.
Shut up, Carson.
Field goal. 0 for 3 free throw and 0 for 4 from the 3.
Yeah.
Man, that's ludicrous.
Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
0 a goose egg.
Was that what Drake was laughing at him for?
I don't blame him if he was laughing. Well, listen, we were up 96-88,
Kawhi-less.
94-88, whatever it was, and we ended up losing 101-96 in the last, we didn't score in the last 4 minutes.
How's this team lose to this? What's so good about the Raptors?
Exactly.
They have a good team, but again, I mean, Embiid scores 0. I mean, it's impossible.
There's no Kawhi. Why is he not scoring any points?
There's no Kyle Lowry either. You got to remember, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got outplayed by Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that name too much. Fred VanVleet out of Wichita State. The shocker.
Yeah. Yeah, this team might be overrated.
Yeah.
Just might be overrated. And once again, Joel Embiid, I'm sorry, you are dominant. Now, okay, this was a game where I kind of wanted you to shoot from the perimeter a little bit more because Marcus Gasol is bigger than you.
Yeah.
More powerful than you. So this was kind of a game I kind of wanted you to stretch out Marcus Gasol a little bit.
Use your skill set.
Right. Now, this is the time I kind of wanted you kind of stand there on the outside perimeter. But I'm sorry. Yo, man. These young players are really irritating.
How about Josh Richardson?
This game was after he had those comments about how
He wanted to play.
He was saying screw load management.
Yeah, he wanted to play every game.
And he goes out and scores 0 points.
Yeah, maybe he needs load
0
management.
points.
That's pretty bad.
Jeez.
And you're supposed to be the superstar on this team. You're supposed to be an MVP candidate.
Marcus Saul is just like a Al Horford 2.0, locks him down every time. That's why in the playoffs last year he struggled and he missed 2 games because of sickness. But it's just frustrating, man.
I am
Jay
pissed
Rich had
off.
25 points.
How many teams in this so far this season do you think are better than we are in the East? The Bucks.
Yep.
Probably the Celtics.
No, I won't put the Celtics up there. I won't put the Celtics.
They're up in the top 4.
They are up there.
They are up.
They're up there, but I wouldn't put the Celtics.
What
over the
about
Sixers.
what
Yeah.
about the Raptors?
Shoot, after last night, no argument for me on that one.
All right, listen, the Sixers are in 9th place. Here are all the teams above them. This is overall. The Mavs, Clippers, Raptors, Heat, Celtics, Nuggets, Bucks, and Lakers.
And they just whooped Miami Heat's ass.
So
The
I
other
would
night.
say maybe we're like the 6th or 7th best team. I heard.
The Mavs are a great team.
Mavs are great.
Yeah,
They're
they
fun
are.
to watch.
Oh, yes, they
Luka
are.
is unfair, but
Yes.
and the Clippers and Lakers are better than us.
Porzingis and
Bucks
Luka.
were better. The Nuggets are probably better than we are too. Honestly,
We should have won that game. But
yeah, we got screwed by the refs.
in a series, I don't think we'd be able to beat the Nuggets
No.
as of now.
No.
No, they're too
not at this
talented.
current- Not at this current state. Once again, these rotations are so weird to me. Why am I not getting minutes from Thibault, Trey Burke? Why? Seriously, I'm sick of this at this point. Those are some of your 2 best bench players. I'm sorry. Ferkman Korsmans, I like him. I do.
Yeah,
My guy.
But stop giving him 6-man minutes. Stop giving him starter minutes.
I agree with.
Stop it at this point.
I thought
I'm
he
sick
should have
of
been cut in the offseason. I was happy when he was gone, and then we
I
brought
hear
him
you.
back.
Like,
Listen, he'll hit a kid. That Portland game, I'll always remember that 3-pointer he hit against
Yes,
Portland.
Unlike
it
me.
was.
All right,
Yeah, that's fine.
but
But
still,
exactly, he
Yeah.
hasn't earned that. He hasn't earned that 6-man spot. If you want to give somebody the 6-man spot, give it to Trey Burke.
I don't know. He's coming off like the 12th man. I think he should bump his minutes up. Is that Neto still on the team? Let's
Yeah.
see him
No,
play.
Yes.
Yep, just on
He's
the
still on
team.
the team.
He played last night.
Good question.
I'll check on that.
I don't even
I
think
don't
he
even
did.
think I saw him out there.
What's up?
He did. I don't even know where he's at on here. Oh yeah, he played 7 minutes.
Okay.
3 points, more points than Joel Embiid.
This is true.
And also, I just want to
that
bring
was
up. I was
terrible.
looking at the overall standings, and I'm happy to see the Golden State Warriors in last place, 3 for 15, 3 wins, 15 losses.
Yeah, and then next year they'll get Steph back and Clay back, and it's just going to be another show again. They're going to go on a run.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody that's crapping on him now, they're just going to be like, ha, screw all you.
Yo, low key, Eric Pascal out of Nova, shout out. He's been playing well.
No, I agree.
Did you guys watch this Ohio State and Penn State game? Let's go back to football.
Oh, man, I did. I caught that game.
28-17 was the final. We expected Ohio State to come out with the win.
We did.
It was looking a little close in the
was.
beginning.
Penn State had a nice little
Defense
comeback.
had to save the team. I think was that Brown who had the fumble recovery in the end zone.
Yeah.
Dude, Chase Young is an
He's a
absolute monster.
Ohio State, yep.
Dude, I would
He
love
has most
somebody
sacks,
like that on the Eagles.
most sacks in a single season at Ohio State was 16.5. He had 4 sacks against Wisconsin.
Like, that is incredible to me. Seriously. The array of pass moves, the speed, the power. That's what I like in my defensive line.
Shout out to my favorite running back in college football.
J.K. Dobbins.
Absolute stud. He is going to be an NFL running back, and the Eagles should draft him.
I'm still riding with my man
on
DeAndre
Ohio
Swift.
State all-time
Okay.
rushing. Second
Can't
on the
argue
list
that.
is Zeke. And Max, you said we should draft him.
Let's draft J.K. Dobbins. Yeah,
I'm
my
pretty sure
favorite running back.
last show Max was on my side against you for saying that we should draft a running back in this draft. Now
I
he's
said
saying-
somebody in the 4th, 5th round.
Yeah.
I
Now
said-
he's saying
I say
Yeah.
draft J.K. Dobbins wherever you can get him.
Dude, I don't know.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
at
I
this
don't know
point-
what your
at this-
deal is with running backs.
At this point, the season's over,
Hey, Max.
and I'm just trying to have fun and enjoy the end of the year. So you know what? You want to go out and sign J.K.? Go ahead.
Hey, Max.
Or draft him? Go ahead.
Hey, Max.
36 carries for 157 yards.
Dude, that's incredible.
J.K. all day.
Go ahead, see what you got.
Max, I don't know what you've been consuming between last week and this week. I don't know.
See, I
don't know
saw
what
a
you've been
game on
inhaling,
Sunday,
but
and you know what?
I'm gonna need you to stop it right now. I'm
I
concerned
just-
about your health.
I opened up my mind to the fact that the season's over, and now I just want to and play a little fantasy
I'm
football.
gonna need you to close your mind and stop playing fantasy football.
Well, that's fun.
He's
Stop
playing
it.
fantasy football. He's watching college football.
Yeah.
The NFL's
Man,
just
that's
not doing
ludicrous.
it for him.
I mean, do you really? Are we really going to sit there on Sunday and turn on the Eagles-Dolphins game? Could be
I will.
one of the worst games on Sunday.
I'm gonna turn it on.
Yeah,
it
I'm
might
going
be
to.
background
It'll
noise.
be on. It'll be on.
Yeah, this will be.
It has to be on, but
Bears are
geez, I'm not
always
going
on.
to feel good about it. I'm not going to be like, ooh, Eagles game. Yeah.
And I'll be enjoying.
I'm not gonna celebrate after the win.
No, I'm not. Now that I'm not going to do. I'm most likely going to be ripping a lot of people, but I'm not going to be celebrating. I'm going to be sitting there watching it with my leftovers from Thanksgiving.
What was the Phillies thing you wanted to bring up?
Well, I just wanted to talk about some options because here's the thing:
Andrew,
some signings are already happening. We know the White Sox signing Yasmani Grandal. Braves are signing a couple of relievers, and they just signed. Who they signed?
Abreu re-signed.
The backup catcher, Travis Darno.
There you go.
They signed Travis Darno.
Does this mean Andrew Knapp is no longer?
What? No, the
The
Braves.
Braves.
I'm thinking Phillies.
So I need. I wish. Yeah, honestly, Tanner, I hear your frustration over there.
I have a really
know what?
bad feeling Andrew Knapp is going to be here another year.
Yeah,
I don't like to hear
I just want to be able to. I know Garrett Cole. We're going at. Everybody's saying we're going after those big names and Garrett Cole and guys like that. So
That's not going to happen.
T, if you say that one more time, you're gonna question me about my baseball knowledge over there.
I'm not questioning you about your baseball knowledge. All I'm saying is you ain't got the money to afford a Garrett Cole.
Let's go out there and get Garrett Cole.
You don't have the damn money. You know why?
Go
Because you
rob
threw
Bryce.
$330 million into an outfielder who can't even field sometimes a simple out.
According
don't
to
say that
Mandy
to Max.
Randhawa on
Yeah, T, don't make me come over
MLB.
here.
Favorite player in the world.
on MLB.com, he says that the Phillies have a 3.1% chance of signing Garrett Cole.
Hey,
Oh, by the way,
there's a chance.
Bryce was a Gold Glove finalist out there in right field, so I don't want to hear it, T. Cody Bellinger won,
Wait
however.
a second.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
I
don't know if I'd.
Yo,
check
remember
this
some of those
source.
throws he made last season?
Remember some of those missed catches he had, and I was talking about
All
putting
right,
a trash
that was
can
early
out there.
on. That was
Tanner
like April,
literally
May.
went on a rant about Bryce Harper.
Well, Tanner's rants are just like, I'm disappointed in you. You,
Hey, I keep it sweet and to the point.
which that is what?
Oh, sorry about that.
Blasphemy.
According to the same guy on MLB.com, Anthony
Who's this guy?
Rendon, Manny Randhawa, no clue. He's on MLB.com, so
I
it's
love
got to be
Anthony
someone.
Rendon. What are they saying? 100% chance we get him?
3.9% chance.
Hey, that's a chance. 3.9. You know what the Nationals' chance was to win the World Series
Like
before the start?
7.
It was like, it was like what? I think it was under 5%,
Might have
honestly.
been.
Oh my god.
Especially coming in as a wild card team.
Yep.
I miss baseball.
Anthony
T, don't you miss
Rendon,
baseball?
I like it.
According to this dude, we have a better chance of getting Garrett Cole than Steven Strasburg.
Hey,
I'll take either one.
I'll take either one.
we need someone in there.
We just need,
I was about to say, you need some pitchers.
yeah.
I don't care who it is at this point.
I
You
don't
need some
know.
doggone
Break the
pitchers.
bank, get both of them.
I
I know
agree.
it's not going to happen, but
All right, let's get a quick shout out to those Flyers. Playing well. Another W last night.
yeah, they did.
Beat the Canucks.
They-
29
Hey,
points.
hey,
12 and 7
Canucks-
record. Playing well.
Canucks are good. And quit
Keep
yucking
chopping
my
away.
yum.
Keep chopping away.
Hey, you know what? Morgan, that dude I was telling you about, Morgan Frost, 3 games, 3 points.
Absolute tank.
He's looking great.
Nobody cares about hockey, Max.
All right, well, like Max said 2 weeks
T.
ago, you can take your 5 and 6 record out the door.
Yeah, T. Oh,
Quit
maybe
yucking
even
my
5
yum.
and 7 next week when we're sitting here. Possibility.
5 and 7. I hope that
We're going backward, damn it.
T, if
Let's
it comes
go.
in here, we're 5 and 7 next week. You're
I
not
will-
allowed to talk about the Eagles anymore.
I want to,
This show would be 15 minutes long.
I was about to
Max.
say, yeah.
I want to get Fitzmagicked. That's right. That's a verb now. I want to get Fitzmagicked.
I can't.
We did.
I want to get
last year.
Yeah, we
Fitzmagicked
did.
again on a different team, different personnel,
Do we know it's hard?
different coaching, different arena, same state though.
All right, T. Let's shut it down here.
I agree. 'Cause y'all, I'm sick of y'all at this point. I don't even want to look at y'all no more. All right. If you missed any of this episode, you can always go to Philly-Experience. That's simplecast.com. We're available on all major download platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, the whole shabazz. And listen, on behalf of everybody in the studio, our families to yours, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Oh yeah,
Enjoy
that's
your day.
this week.
I will be sitting back at the T household frying up some turkeys. I'm getting it.
turkeys.
Oh, I'm going. It's going down.
We got stuffing, mashed potatoes,
Doggone
turkey, cranberries.
Doggone right. Just the way to do it, baby.
All right.
All right, y'all. Talk to you.
We'll talk to you next week.
What the is that?
He needs to learn how to wrap that thing up.
Pull your head out of your ass!
Was that like a wise ass comment?
Let's go have a ham sandwich.
What don't you understand?
Give me a green right slot, Spider 2Y banana.